everyone. We're going on a little road trip to meet my friend Tiffany. We're driving to her creative space where she makes wreaths, and we are going to create a wreath today. It's so cool in here. I'd love to see a tour of your place before we get into anything else. Show us around. Tell us about it.
I would love to. So this table is really important to me. It was my late mother's antique table. So I make it as sort of like the focal point for my office space. Right over here is our inventory for the Heidi wreath. We have it all ready to go for her for Valentine's Day. And then right over here is where we have the packaging table. So once all the wreaths are ready to be shipped out, this is where they get wrapped up in white paper and they get a pretty label on them. As soon as they open up the box, they see beautiful packaging and it gets twined and a little card with care instructions on it. And as you can see, this is the Heidi wreath. I know I'm a little biased, but it's actually one of my favorite ones.
Okay, don't look yet.
Yes.
We'll show that later.
And then of course, obviously this is the inventory I'm working with mostly right now for fall and winter, really going into winter with Christmas season with the holidays. This is my house of Lola. Some of my original photos of my house of Lola. This is particularly my most favorite wreath ever. That's the Harlow. And then this is my little lounge area. I really believe in dreaming big. That I've always told my kids to dream big. So you can't lose, right? If you dream big.
Take your own advice.
This is my office in here. You can see the hourglass. Every now and then in the mornings I'll come and I'll flip it over and it reminds me that you need to live life to the fullest, right?
Yep.
Get the most out of life every single day. It's very precious.
You know what I love is that you could do whatever you did anywhere, but it's when you do designate a space for yourself, whether this is in your basement or now in this new place, it's like it makes things happen. You feel like more empowered to go sit in there and like make things happen for yourself. So I think even if you're like watching this and you're not here yet, wherever you are, like make that space for yourself because it'll drive you to want to get in there and do whatever it is that makes you happy and you're passionate about. We're gonna sit down and chat a little bit.
Yeah,
Cool.
shall we?
So I know there's other people out there that have these dreams or passions that they want to follow and just kind of feel like they're not ready, they're not in the right place, they don't know how to start. And I want you to tell your story from your own words because I just am so proud of you and everything you've done and where you've come from. We're not going to start crying already. I know it's going to happen.
I'm not crying yet.
I will eventually, but go ahead.
I'm so grateful for this opportunity because I really do want to tell my story. It's much bigger than selling a wreath. My son was diagnosed with severe autism and I needed a positive outlet in my life. I was a stay-at-home mom and it gets challenging even for moms who aren't moms of special needs kids. I decided to make a wreath and I hung it on my door and my friends saw it on Facebook and they said, you should maybe start selling these. So I started selling them on Etsy and it was a slow start and you start doubting yourself. Started making them down in the basement. I wasn't selling mini wreaths and I had one day that I doubted myself. I made a $50 purchase at a local craft store and I thought, what am I doing here? I've barely sold anything in the last week. I don't really think this is gonna work out. I'm just gonna go back and return so I can get my $50 back. And I felt like the biggest failure. So the next day I woke up and I went back and I repurchased all of those materials. It's in this moment where people grow and learn the most. It's when you're really put to the test and it forces you to sort of go back and look at the drawing board and rethink things and you're forced to come out with better ideas. It just forces me to take a closer look at what I'm doing and be even more creative. The majority of the crafting world is made up of women. Why not take the wreath off the door and take the woman behind the camera and put her in the picture with her wreath and honor and celebrate the woman. I feel like the woman is something to be celebrated. I feel like we're very strong. We wear many different hats. We're mothers, businesswomen, creators, and thought this might be a good idea. This might shake up the crafting world a little. I feel like I need to add some spice to it, and that created the House of Lola. And the House of Lola is something that I'm very passionate and emotional about it. It's my way of celebrating the woman. And I came up with Lola because it's from my happy song from the Copacabana Barry Manilow song.
Her name was Lola.
It's my happy song. It makes me smile. So every season I take a percentage of my sales and I donate it to women empowered organizations. I just donated $1,000 to the Women Against Abuse in Philadelphia. They're one of the largest domestic abuse organizations in this country. In 16 minutes, I sold $10,000 worth of wreaths last month, and I was able to write a check for $1,000. And when I was writing that check, I thought about the $50 I went and returned that one day. I needed the $50, and now here I am able to write a $1,000 check. And then I think to myself, next year I want it to be a $2,000 check. You know, you just keep growing more and more and more. Right. To be able to visualize an idea and then bring it to fruition, it makes me so happy. And then to get others to love it just as much as I do, that enables me to give to women. So do you see what I'm doing here, Heidi?
I love it.
It's a beautiful circle of women supporting other women.
I just love how, just you hear these stories of, oh, she started in her basement, now she's doing all these things, but it's every aspect of your business is so much deeper, and things that happen to bring you to that moment that made this, that happened next. And I don't know, I feel like everybody has that in them. You do a great job of like tapping into that and why this means so much. And that's why I feel like your work is so beautiful, because it's literally made with love. Going back to the photos of you, I remember when I started following you, I was like, wait a minute, I'm scrolling and I'm seeing all these gorgeous photos. You've made like this, like you said, crafting, very chic and cool and edgy, but pretty and feminine, like all these different things. And it says that in those photos, and the fact that your daughter takes photos is like, it's so cool. Like, I love all of that. And it's funny when you say everything came full circle, because what is a wreath but a circle? So here we are. All right, shall we make one?
Yes.
Okay, so I see you have everything laid out, and so you said this wreath was kind of your thoughts about me and what I represent if I were a wreath.
I really put a lot of thought into creating a wreath that would be representative of Heidi D'Amelio. And it's for Valentine's Day, so these colors are perfect for that time of year. This is a peony, and then I have the closed peonies, and to me that represents Heidi's good heart. There's a softness to her as a friend, as a mother, as a wife, and I feel like those really show Heidi's heart. And then the burgundy dahlia, which is my favorite piece actually in the whole wreath, represents the bold, fun, sexy, fierce, and mama bear. I mean, we know she's a fierce mama bear, as she has shown. She's got an edgy style to her, so that makes me think of that. And then she said she loves pampas grass, so I definitely made sure I incorporated the pampas grass. She said she loves seeded eucalyptus, so I put 2 different types of seeded eucalyptus in there. This is a beautiful blush color. And then this is a staple at House of Lola, is a ribbon on this side of the wreath, as well as the pampas grass.
To receive something like this as a gift, or to buy it for yourself, I think for a Valentine's Day is just perfect. It's not only for that, you could keep it up in your house like forever, but I love this.
And there you go. That is the Heidi wreath.
I love it. It's beautiful. This was so much fun, and I learned a lot. And thank you for naming the wreath after me.
Of course.
So if you want to get the Heidi, it's available today, and all the information is below to get yours, or buy one for a friend.